Paco Suarez. Paco, how you doing?
Hello everyone, I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Pretty excited for both of the races we're gonna watch today.
Yeah, I think the action last week certainly is going to take some following up on. It is Mashiro who does lead the championship on 84 points, Storm in second on 66, Key in third on 51 and Lord Hulton in fourth on 50. Judging by their top four, and obviously with it being two races here tonight as always for the Challenge Cup, how do you see the top four actually progressing here tonight?
Well, I think we have almost a clear champion probably. I mean, unless there is a miracle tonight, probably Mashiro will be the winner today, but we will have to take a closer look to the guys behind because they are pretty close from each other, and probably we will see a good fight between Kiki and Lord Hulton. We'll have to keep an eye on them.
Yeah, Key and Lord Hulton only actually 1 point separating them for third and fourth position, and the McLaren and the Williams respectively. I can say that the top four are here. Now I know what is on everyone's mind at the minute, and yes, I am going to mention it over the stream. It is of course the coronavirus, where many people have been affected, and we were having a discussion beforehand saying about Spain, about the UK, and how different the approaches have been in terms of the coronavirus. I'd like to issue my advice: wash your hands 20 seconds, sing happy birthday over the sink, you'd be fine. Simple as that. Obviously it is quite worrying. Australian Grand Prix, and in fact the first 4 Grand Prix of Formula 1 have been cancelled as a result of the coronavirus, with the scheduled start of the season now in Baku, apparently, I've heard, in Azerbaijan. So we'll have to see how that is going to progress, and of course our thoughts are with everyone who's been affected by the coronavirus, and I'll issue this now: it is going to get worse before it gets better, so we need that resolute spirit. And I think obviously me and Paco were speaking about this just before we came on air, an event running on Sunday, I think it is 5:45 UK time. It is pitting up real life drivers against sim races, which I think is an absolute fantastic opportunity. Veloce Esports hosting that, so go and check that out if you haven't got anything better to do with yourself on a Sunday night. But we are here for one reason and one reason only, of course, and that is for the Challenge Cups. Let me whiz through the standings. Mashiro on 84 points, Storm in second on 66, Key in third on 51, Lord Hulton in fourth on 50. I've already discussed, obviously, with you, Paco, about the top four. We've got Maximus in fifth on 31. Maze is tied for sixth with Charlie on 24, so they're tied for sixth. Pastel in eighth on 17, and tied for ninth is Conti and Atlas Coco on 15. Looking through the rest of the standings, back Spikeen on 14, Shumi on 8, Jeffrey on 6, and Daniil on 2. How do you see these two races progressing then? Because we are here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, which is a track that is above sea level. 17 turns away at the drivers. Surely there's going to be a lot of overtaking.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a track in which we will see probably many overtakings, most of them in the long straight we have at the beginning of the lap, and then we also have the second straight. Probably there we will see most of the overtakes, and yeah, then we have Abu Dhabi. So today I think we're gonna have good racing out there, and we will enjoy. I think I'm gonna go with this bold prediction. I think it's gonna be much enjoyable than the last 2 races.
That's a very bold prediction to begin us with. Goodness me, you're making the predictions already. Wow. Obviously we had Abu Dhabi last night in TTL F1, and it was Recon who took the championship there. Racing Point gaining the constructors by just 1 point out on track last night. And if you want to watch the TTL F1 race back, go and watch it back. Me and Kieran McGinley covered that one. It was fantastic action. Only 11 drivers here then. There's more opportunities for points with 11 drivers being here. How do you see one-shot qualifying pan out, and who's your top 3?
That's gonna be, well, at least we know that generally P1, well, I was going to say that P1 was easy to guess, but seeing last week. Quali, well, I'm not so sure about that statement. I'm gonna risk that Lord Holton is gonna take pole because he showed that at least in a one-shot quali he's fast and consistent, so probably he'll take pole. I'm gonna bet that Mashiro is gonna take second, and let's see. I think that probably Storm will be third.
Yeah, very interesting top three then. I think you might be bang right, to be honest, with that top three. I actually fancy Storm for one-shot qualifying. We go on board then with Lord Hulton, the Norwegian here. Around Mexico, the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez coming into the calendar once again in the mid-2010s. And Lord Hulton now in the Williams running down towards turn one. I'm just going to turn up my TV a bit so you can hear the volume. Running towards turn one, 210 mile an hour then running down the straight for Lord Hulton out on track. And the soft compound of tyres is everyone's choice of tyre currently in one-shot qualifying. Through turn 2 and 3, Lord Hulton looking very good indeed. Opens up that second DRS zone. Key and Storm, the other Storm, is already out the session, not the one that's in the championship contendership. 28.1 for Lord Hulton through the first sectors. He now comes through the twisting section of turn 6 and 7. Or this is 5 and 6 through the right, the triple right-hander through turn 6. Then through 7 and 8, and he's already struggling on his lap through the S section, which is, I think, arguably the trickiest section on the track, and Lord Hulton definitely not liking this lap at all. Very nice through the S section though, and he's now coming towards the end of the middle sector. Again, opens up a slight DRS zone, which is there and was recently added in 2019, I do believe. It is not on the thingy, and Lord Hulton has invalidated on his lap, so it goes from bad to worse for the Norwegian. Mashiro then, we're riding on board with him coming through the turn 16 and 17. And Mashiro, I think, might be sent a 114 here across the line. It's a 115.1, just shy, and he's only 400 ahead of Storm, very close for the top two.
Yeah, definitely. It has been an interesting qualifying to see. I saw that Lord Holton in the Williams made a silly mistake. He went deep in that two right-handed corners in which you go down to second gear. And he just went deep on the exit, so he lost a lot of time, and after that probably he lost concentration and he just validated. But we can see that the top two, it's pretty close, and this shows that at least in one shot quali, Mashiro is not that good or not as fast as he used to be on race.
I think Storm, honestly, his pace, along with Mashiro's, they're both around the same pace, so it should mark up to be a very interesting race here out on track. Do show your support, by the way, in the comment section for anybody that you might fancy here out on track. Well, if you fancy us commentators, then you can enjoy the action even more, because we're going to be taking you through both races here tonight, myself and Paco Suarez. I'm going to tune into the comment section to see how you guys are doing here tonight. Good evening to Storm. You don't want to hear two of me in the background there. I had the stream nearly on full volume. Storm and Maze coming in. Storm saying both horrible tracks. Well, looking at his qualifying time in second there, not too bad at all, and Mashiro needs to slow down, says Key. I think, honestly, proven by that qualifying session, that's definitely true. And Key down in 10th, so the two McLarens will be hoping to score points. But we're now on to the formation lap, and what are the tyre strategies like out on track? A bit of a difference, actually. Most drivers going for a set of soft compound of tyres. Now, if you're new to Formula 1, and if you don't know what the soft compound of tyres is, they're essentially the quickest of the three compound of tyres that are available. You shouldn't see anybody at all, unless they make a mistake on lap 1, go on to a set of hard compound of tyres. But the softs are the quickest. They will degrade 6, I would say, around here, and probably see into the pit lane around lap 7, lap 8, maybe the start of the pit stops around here. And we've got two drivers on the mediums as well, Conti and Key, both on a set of medium compound of tyres. They're in the middle of the three compound of tyres, and looking at their strategies, how far do you think they're going to go into the race? Probably about halfway?
That's actually a really good question. I think that, well, we have to bear in mind, as you said, that the softs probably only last 6 laps, so medium runners will try to stretch those tires to lap 12, 13 to actually keep those new soft tires as fresh as possible.
Yeah, obviously the medium compound of tyres for Conti and Key will be key to unlocking their positions out on track. We come through the final 2 corners then with the leaders, and I'm going to push you for a top 3, Paco.
Oof. It's actually a difficult prediction because we have Lord Holton at the back, but probably I think Mashiro will take the win, Storm will be second, and I'm going to risk myself saying that Lord Holton is going to be third.
Yeah, very interesting. I think Lord Holton will certainly have the pace around his rivals out on track to try and get past a few, especially Conti ahead, who's on a set of medium compound of tyres. But we're just moments away then from TTL F1, the Challenge Cup for League 2, about to begin for round 5 here in Mexico. The 5 red lights are on. And it's light down, away we go, and Storm got a very good start indeed. The Racing Point already alongside the McLaren, and side by side running down towards turn 1, 2 by 2 like Noah's Ark. They go in behind, 3 wide, a little bit of contact there between Conti and Key running down towards turn 1, but all clean so far. Oh, and Storm actually just moving across on the back of Conti, I think that was in the background. Quite a few actually making it through turn 1 there safely. Machiro leads, but Jeffrey ran the outside on Storm, side by side then, down through the DRS. And remember, the DRS can't be deployed until lap 3, and Storm might just have to let Jeffrey through on this one. So Jeffrey up to second, good start from him. Storm down to third, very costly, little bit of contact in the background. It's all hell for leather in behind. Storm trying to look down the inside of Passel's, never going to work that one off, and Key has been caught up in a bit of early contact, so his championship hopes may be going down the drain before they've even gone through lap 2. But Mashiro leads the way through the S section, 1.1 seconds, Jeffrey second, Storm third, back to Viking fourth, Mason fifth, Tom with a good start in sixth, he's up a few positions from Lord Holton in 7th, Conti in 8th, Lord Holton actually... Oh, Storm actually in the back, what happened there?
I was watching Kiki and I could see perfectly at the exit of the S's, he totally lost the car and he just went straight into the wall.
It's unfortunate for Storm, and that is a possible point scoring position actually out of the way, because the top 10 now are on for points. We're on board with Storm, right on the back of Jeffries. Jeffrey second, Storm third, back to Viking in fourth, onto the dirty side then of the track. They go, Jeffrey on the inside line, but Holton, oh, Storm nearly into the back of Jeffrey, and he's actually unsettled the car, and Storm, I don't think, really mean to do that. He's going to have to try and continue on, but is he going to wait up through the field? I think Storm is going to wait up for Jeffrey and really cost himself a few positions, so that is very good stuff indeed. Jeffrey right down to the back, and you can see the cars filtering through. Passel's right on the back of Conti then in the background. Mason Lord Holton are fighting as well. Lord Holton actually dropping down behind Storm. I wonder if he had a bit of an illegal overtake on Storm. That's what I think has happened there. Yes. Oh, and Jeffrey's round again, I think, in the background there. Or was that just me? That's Tom ran, sorry, in the background.
No, that's Tom. Yeah, that's Tom. And I have to say that Storm has done, like, I have to clap.
Fantastic sportsmanship.
Yeah. He has shown that he has a lot of respect for other drivers. He made a mistake there. He probably missed the braking. He didn't expect Jeffrey to brake that early, and he just went and hit him behind him, and yeah, the Red Bull lost it. And yeah, once again, Storm was show how much of a sportsman he is, giving back the position.
Yeah, the Brit obviously letting through Jeffrey once again. Those two will begin to battle further down the field. Mays, though, right on the back of Back Viking. DRS will be enabled as they come through turn 3. Mashiro then is 5.1 seconds ahead. And in fact, I correct myself, DRS will not be enabled until the end of the lap. So it'll actually be lap 4, technically, where it gets thingy. Tom is into the pit. Storm right on the back of Jeffrey. Again, no DRS enabled, and Jeffrey has been let through, of course, by Storm. So I think Storm has really cost himself of a possible championship victory here, but it comes to show sportsmanship is of the highest premium for Storm, and he's let everyone pretty much through, and he's just behind Jeffrey there out on track. Back Viking, though, looks like he's beginning to hold up Maze a little bit. Lord Holton right on the back. The Renault, the banana car, is in a bit of a Williams sandwich at this stage.
Yeah, definitely. Maze had a really good start, and he's showing that probably he has more pace than second place. And there's still 15 laps to go, so a long race to go. But let's see, because he's in a promising third place.
Mays just compromised his run there actually through the baseball stadium section, and Mays actually was very, very lucky not to get a penalty there, because he can invalidate around there. Mays right on the back then of Vax Viking, who looks pretty much a sitting duck. He's going to go to the outside line as Mays going to go down the inside line. Lord Holton's actually trying to go around the outside of Mays. This could be a 2-for-1 here, but Mays cuts in front of Lord Holton, says, no thank you, you're not getting this position, and Mays holds on to third position. Storm has gone through on Jeffrey as well, and they're fighting for position, but Storm walters around the outside, and he's up into 8th position. Tom on a set of hards, and Mays has gone up the inside. Was that a diving move down the inside of Vax Viking there? And he's gone through, so he's up to 2nd. Good move, and Lord Holton trying to go down the inside. It's still costly, and I think Vax Viking just lets his teammate through, and Lord Holton up to 3rd. But look at Conti in behind. Conti's really caught up.
Yeah, it seems like Conti has taken advantage of this battle going on, and he has quickly caught up again. So he's now, like, probably he's on the best strategy call. He's on mediums, he will finish on the softer tires, and if he doesn't lose... No, that was way too far. And if he now overtakes quick enough Balski, probably he could have chances to actually be P2.
Vax Viking, I would have expected to be pitting in, because he's also a lot of time on that last lap. Conti on a set of mediums beginning to put the hammer down. Storm is already on the back of Key as well, and they're just in behind screen shot. Lord Holton trying to catch Mayslow down the straight. We've also got Conti on the back of Lord Holton. Conti on the back of Vax Viking. Difficult to tell with the two Williamses. Storm walters past Key though in the meantime, and on lap 5 out of 18, and Storm puts himself into 7th position. Key not having that great start that we would have imagined from him.
Yeah, definitely. He's showing his pace is way off, as it seems now, and probably not the race he wanted. But now he has to focus and try and come back and recover that pace.
Yeah, Key obviously down in 8th position at this stage. Jeffrey beginning to catch him as well. Conti in the meantime trying to get closer to Vax Viking. I tell you what, Lord Holton is all over the back of Mays. Mays driving a very good race. Let's have a look at the position gains then. Lord Holton actually most notable gainer, 6 positions gained. Everyone else either 3, 2 or 1. Conti has gained 3, so has Mays and Key. They've both gained 2 and 1 position gain for Vax Viking. Everyone else has either stayed neutral, or if you were Storm and Jeffrey, you've lost 5 and 6 positions respectively. Lord Holton right on the back of Mays though, 3rd through the distance here in Mexico. Mashiro dominating out in front, but is Lord Holton going to get the move done here?
Oh, it's going to be really close. He's catching as he goes on overtake ERS mode. He's going to try to dive. Nah, Mays close the door and he picks up a 3-second time penalty. I mean, it doesn't seem like Lord Holton has the straight line speed to go for the move there, because there's only like 3 kilometers per hour difference, you know, between straight line speed. So it's going to be really difficult for the Williams to actually make the move. Let's see if he can be more clever than Main and maybe be close enough to try him off.
With you talking about actually the straight line speed, I was about to come on to that actually before I cut to you. And Lord Holton definitely looks a lot quicker through the corners. Has he subsidised his straight line speed for the cornering? Because I think he has. Or is he running a stock setup? In the meantime, Conti and Vax Viking are ghosting inside of each other. I don't know what's going on there, but Conti has got the move done anyways. That was strange. Yeah, PG-18 here in Mexico. Goodness me.
Yeah, definitely. Conti was a bit overexcited, you know, to make the move. And yeah, apart from that, yeah, it's been a bit weird. But now Conti has overtaken him, and he has to go full speed now. He has to recover that time that he's lost. And look at Lord Holton. He's trying the move now. He's diving into the inside. Oh, they're going side by side, but Mason closed really well the door. Let's see if he can now try something different, maybe better traction as he opens the RS. But once again, maybe he's way too far from Mason.
Yeah, about 7 mile an hour difference actually coming into the braking zone now. Lord Holton is giving Mays just that little bit too much room, I think, out on track. He should really begin to push Mays to his limits. Try and force him into a mistake and then try and get the move done. I think that's the only way I can see Lord Holton getting past. Back to Viking in the meantime did come into the pits. He's now onto a set of medium compound tyres. Of course, it's only one-stop strategies around here, unless you're Tom, which will go onto a set of super softs towards the end of the race. And there was a yellow flag there. Jeffrey's actually lost it out of turn 6, I believe. He's lost time. Yeah, Jeffrey has lost a little bit of time through turn 6. I think he's got caught on the curb there. He nearly went into the wall. Is there any impact damage on that car?
No. Let me see as Mashiro goes into the pits. Top 3 in. It doesn't seem. I think it's good because probably I would have missed the side of the end plate. Oh,
Mays slowing down into the pit lane. Lord Holton loses end plate damage. Wow, Lord Holton didn't realise, I think, Mays' speed going into the pit lane. Lord Holton's tried to throttle it into the pit lane, and he's picked up right side end plate damage, so that is going to cost 5 seconds within the pit stop right there for Lord Holton. How costly is that going to be?
It's going to be a lot. I mean, it was on the fight for that P2, and now probably Conti has a big opportunity ahead of him, because now Lord Holton will have to recover that 5-second time penalty, that front wing change, and Mays will have a 5-second time penalty that probably will get removed, but we cannot go ahead of a future situation, you know, so we'll have to see. But now they have a complicated race ahead. As we can see, Storm has made a massive undercut to Lord Holton and Mays, and he's now back in the fight for the podium.
Undercut is quite potent around here in Mexico. Look at the speed of Mashiro right on the back of Key. He's overtaken him in the blink of an eye here. Key down the inside line is just going to let him through. Mashiro through up to P3. That is what cold tyres, relatively speaking, Mashiro has got. He's got much fresher tyres, 7 lap fresher tyres. Passel's into the pits just ahead of him. Mashiro's got a clear gap ahead, and if I'm right in saying, I think Mashiro is going to have, and I'm just going to work it out when Vax Viking comes across the line, I think Mashiro's going to be in front by about 13-14 seconds.
Yeah, I think it's going to be something like that, and I have to highlight that Malc speaking has made a really good strategy call. I mean, I mean, this is weird.
How's he undercut these? How?
No. Like, wow, I mean, I'm actually shocked about this. Oh, and Jeffrey retires.
Jeffrey retires out of the session. That's down the straight, actually, he's retired that.
Yeah, probably manually. Probably he saw that he wasn't having a good race and he just retired. A bit weird, but I don't know.
He was in point scoring position. He should have continued.
But it's really weird what we are seeing ahead, because Malc speaking pitted 2 laps earlier. You know, he was supposed to make an undercut, but now he's only 1 second ahead of Puzzles that was way behind, and I don't know if it was a great overcut or what, but he's now ahead of Mays. But probably it was too long, as his teammate goes side by side, and he's gonna make an easy move down the inside.
Yeah, good move.
Yeah,
Puzzles
really
just
from Mays.
Puzzles just Storm actually down the inside, nearly killing me as the cameraman as he's trying to switch it back down towards turn 16. This will be tight if he can try and pull this off. Key's into the pits as well, but Mays hangs on from Passos, and Passos just about hanging on there from Storm as well. Key into the pits, he's onto a set of soft compound of tyre, and he's going to be well behind these guys out on track, as it's now nearly side by side running down the straight. The Belgian and the Brit here. Renault versus Racing Point. Racing Point trying to go around the outside. Storm all the way around the outside of turn 1. Now on the inside of turn 2. Passos not really giving him the room. 3-second time penalty picked up, though. That's Key. Storm right on the back. Both of them have got DRS. Who's got the quicker straight line speed? It's like a drag race down towards turn 4, and I think Passos and Storm is just going to give this one to Passos, but good defending there by Passos. Switchback though through turn 6, and Mays down the inside of Vax Viking as well. I think Vax Viking had a mistake there actually, and Mays trying to go around the outside. This is all kicking off before
the switchback again.
No way through the S section. Mays down the inside. What a move!
Amazing start from Mays. I mean, he was really clever. He waited to do that switchback, and what a traction he had. And now he's up to third.
Passos on the inside of Storm.
Once again.
Not going to go for it. Oh, goodness me. A lot of action has kicked off like Mexican tapas here in Mexico. Mashiro leads the way. I had to get that one in. But look at the gap that Mashiro has got out in front. Conti is going to undercut everyone. He's on a set of softs. He's into second. Unbelievable.
Oh.
That's all because of the battling.
Now he's on soft, so he's gonna have a clear advantage on those drivers. So really good start from Conti.
Unbelievable for Conti, the Red Bull man up into second position. That's what you get if you battle around this track. I think that's what everyone has now found out, including us as the viewers. And yes, I had to get in a Mexican flavoured pun there. Yes, Mexican tapas. If that even makes sense, then please do let me know within the comment section. If it did, fine. If it didn't, just let me know.
And look at that, because we have, we could say a 5-way battle, or 6 for P3. I mean, most of the cars under that second gap, and we can see that probably the guy that is struggling the most is Puzzles, but we're also watching...
I think. Storm right on the back of him. I'm just watching on the helicopter cam here. Storm trying to go around the outside of X-Viking. Surely not around the outside here. Oh, what a move this is if he can pull it off. Storm down the inside line. He forces through the camber of the corner, and that is easy pickings right there for Storm. What an unreal move that is. Switch backing to perfection, and Storm up to fourth. And now Pastel's beginning to pressurise back to Viking as well. Sorry.
Those moves are the ones that make you be on the podium and be a contender for the fight. That's what Storm has showed us why he was in the fight for the title right there. What an amazing move, seriously. I've never seen something like that in ages.
Yeah, Mexico really producing the goods here. We're only 2/3 of the way through. Can you believe it? Mashiro leads the way by 15.1 seconds out on track. Nobody going for any moves down in towards turn 4. Conti in second as a result of that massive undercut that he got with everyone battling a couple of laps ago. Mays now in third. Storm in fourth. A bit of a 6-car battle going on here. Well, it's now turned into a bit of a 4-car battle, I would say. Storm, Bax Viking, Parcells and Lord Hulton all separated quite evenly away from each other. 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. Key, by the way, set the new fastest lap of the race last lap around. A 17.5 from him. He's in 8th. And Tom, I salute his courage. He hasn't been lapped yet out on track, and he's still going around the Welshman in 9th position. Hopefully he might get that to the end of the race on a set of hearts. I think he will.
It's gonna be really difficult. Like, I don't think he'll do it. Let's see. And watch out, because I'm surprised, because Viking has been able to keep the gap under a second, and now thanks to that he's holding on to Storm, and Storm is catching May. So that's causing a trend, you know. Slowly we'll see that everyone is catching May.
Storm is right on the back of Mays coming through there. Bax Viking looks like he's just beginning to struggle and drop off maybe the back of Storm, but we are beginning to get more battles here out on track. Lap 13, Mashiro leads. Conti is pulling that gap down, but only by a couple of tenths per lap. It's 14.7 seconds out on track. I don't think that is enough to even bridge a gap. I would be surprised if Mashiro is not less than 10 seconds ahead by the end of the race. I don't think Conti will catch that much.
No, definitely not. And probably if Conti had started, like if he hadn't lost that much time at the start, probably we would be speaking about a fight between him and Mashiro. But yeah, he's way too far. And right now, look at Storm, because he's 4/10 away from May. He's gonna have a big opportunity now down the straight. So let's see when he opens that DRS and with the slipstream, if he's gonna make the move before the corner, because also Storm doesn't have a great straight line speed, but look at that, he's closing up the gap, and probably he'll make it. He's going down the inside. Is he gonna... Oh, look at May, he's going deep into braking, but I think it was more Storm being rather conservative. Yeah. And look at Mace now ahead, but he's gonna have DRS and he's gonna move down the inside. It's gonna be a clear move for Storm. Let's see. He tries to hold it, but I think
Mace gives him the room.
Yeah, but Storm is being way too conservative. Oh, he goes outside the track, side by side. They do not make contact.
It's still side by side.
Good racing. Good racing. Oh, and he back off. Really clever. I have to say, really clever, because probably if he had hold on, that could have ended really badly.
remember Storm waited up for Jeffrey, cost himself about 10 or 15 seconds at least out on track, and now he's fighting out for a possible podium, and he tries to sail around the outside once again, and Storm has got the move done.
Lord Holton,
yeah, Lord Holton out of the race. I think that was through just before turn 13, I think, out on track. But Storm has got the move done around the outside. I think Mays was looked to be a bit of an ordinary driver there. But look at the straight line speed again, because Storm trying to willingly break the toe. Mays is not going to run in the toe of Storm. So this is pretty much a dead man's eye currently out on track for Mays. Look at the closing speed of this banana car. Down the inside goes the Renault. And I think Storm just gabs him that one. And Mays up the inside, he's up to P3. And by the way, I picked up as well, Passel's got passed back to Viking 2 laps ago. He's now into 5th as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're having so many battles, or we had many battles that we could not focus on what was happening behind. Because this battle right here, we're watching between Mays and Storm, is the best one we've seen so far in the race. And Storm is being really, really clever. I mean, he has done the same move in the same spot 2 times already. We will see the same move a 3rd time.
Storm through the S section just seems a lot more confident. I think we will. Obviously, I think we will see it a 3rd time for sure. Storm, as I say, just looks a lot more confident on the power. But he get it down the inside into the hairpin. Never going to try that one off. Passel's has just dropped off the back as well, 1.8 seconds. So now we're beginning to see 2 separate battles out on track. And Key actually 2.8 seconds off. These guys beginning to battle ahead of him. He might be wetting his lips at this stage and probably thinking, I could try and make something out of this. But Storm, right on the back of Mays, looking a lot closer this time. Is he going to try and come in it like the move? And I think Storm is not going to come in it again. Doesn't run down the outside. He could get switched back through turn 3.
He's trying, and he has a really good excellency when he opens DRS, and if the slipstream is enough to make the move, he's going down the inside, it's going to be enough, but we'll make him try to go deep into braking. Oh, but look at that, Storm went a bit deep, but easy move from the Racing Point driver.
Always does this in his drive, Storm. He always waits for the right moment, and that was the right moment for Mays, for the overtake to get done. He's gone past Mays quite easily there for P3 out on track. Passel's and back to Viking as well out on track. But look at Key beginning to reel them in as if something is not us here in Mexico, and it's 1.5 seconds out on track. Tell you what, with Passel's and back to Viking fighting, Key might be on for P5 here.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, Kiki, I think he had the pace, but that incident he had, I think he damaged the front wing at the start. It was not good for him, and he lost some time with it, and now he's showing that he had the pace to actually probably fight for the podium. And I think that also the fight we're watching here between Passos and Viking is open. And look at that, because the Williams is reducing that gap. I don't know if he'll have a chance on the second straight. We'll see right now as he tries to have better traction, and now he's going to try and knock with the DRS, but it seems.
Yeah, 40% of ERS that Vax Viking has got currently out on track. Key is within DRS ranges now as well on these guys out on track. Passos and Vax Viking 5th and 6th. But Mashiro leads. It is a tale of 2 halves actually between the soft runners out on track. Conti losing time to Mashiro, Key gaining time to Vax Viking, which is very interesting, I think, and it comes to show who actually saves up their tyres the better. Key has really been progressing here right on the back of Vax Viking and Passos, and he's now beginning to let his name be shown within the wing mirrors of Vax Viking and Passos' car just ahead out on track. We're on to the final lap. I can't believe it. Mashiro has started the final lap. This race has come by in the blinking of an eye, and Key just gets caught on the inside curve there and runs wide. I think those tyres are now really beginning to blister. Might have gone a lap too earlier, I think, on those tyres. Vax Viking though catching Passos. Is he going to be close enough down towards turn 1? He wasn't last time around, and I still don't think he will be. Or is he?
He will look at that. Yeah, and he's gonna go for the move. No, he's not, but probably he'll have a second chance on the second straight, and Kiki will have a final opportunity to try and catch both of them, but it doesn't seem like the Williams is gonna try the move. He's reducing that gap, but not enough, and Yes.
Oh, into the back of
he hit
him!
it.
Back Viking into the back of Passos. Left side end plate damage.
Oh, does he?
He does. Left side end plate damage is completely gone. Mashiro, in the meantime, is coming round the final couple of corners through 16 and 17 for the final time here in Mexico. And Mashiro once again dominates. And I'm right in saying maybe he might have just wrapped up the championship right there in the Challenge Cup. I will confirm that, but I'm under the impression that he has. Conti is going to be coming across the line in second with that brilliant undercut that he made. He is going to celebrate it. Go to the line because you might have penalties. That's what I say. Conti across the line in second. Storm across the line in third. A good recovery drive from earlier on in the race. And Storm having more penalties there than Conti. Mays across the line in fourth. Oh, back to Viking and Key out of the final corner. Very close. And we'll have to go to a photo finish, I think, with that one out on track.
Oh, Key finished fourth.
Key finished fourth. Wow.
Yeah, with penalties ahead, he finished fourth, so really good stuff from the McLaren driver.
Let's confirm the running order then from Mexico, and it is the Japanese man who takes the top step off the podium again, Mashiro. I'm right in saying I think he's won 3 out of 5 races currently in the Challenge Cup. He has dominated affairs out on track, and Mashiro is just up. I'm going to say it, I think he's a class apart everyone else.
Yeah, probably he has. I have to agree there. Yeah, probably he has. Definitely, I would say.
We'll see then. The podium celebrations come to an end. We have got another race for you still. It's Abu Dhabi. It's one of the longest circuits on the track, on the calendar. But Mashiro takes a dominant win with that 3-second time penalty, still only denting his lead down to 14.7 seconds. Not too much, not too shabby at all. Conti in second, very good drive from him. Storm as well, a very good recovery drive from that incident with Jeffrey earlier on in the race. Key, as you say, got fourth. I don't think he got any penalties, he didn't. So from 10th to 4th for him. Mays in 5th, back to Viking in 6th, Passelt in 7th, and Tom finishing down there in P8. But that is the definition of keep calm and carry on.
Yeah, and one crucial factor that if Maeve gets his 5-second time penalty removed because of that push, you know, into the pit entry, he wouldn't overtake Kiki in the final result. So that's a main point to bear in mind.
Well, there are the points scoring on the lobby at the minute. I'm going to try and do some very quick maths out on track, but let's talk about Abu Dhabi, because Abu Dhabi is a whole different nature. We go from dusk to night, of course. How do you think the drivers are going to cope around here?
It's really difficult to say. I mean, I think it's a really difficult track because the third sector, I think it's one of the most difficult in the calendar. You have to watch out for the curbs and have really good traction, you know, when exiting every corner. But probably most of the moves, as I said, in Mexico here, we'll probably see them in the long straights we have. Because I don't see any other point to overtake here. So I think it's gonna be an interesting race. It's a longer race, like a longer track than Mexico. So let's see what drivers do here. I'm actually excited to watch. Yeah,
Abu Dhabi, I think, is going to be one of those spectacles that you are not going to keep your eyes off for sure. I think we've got 14 laps, if I'm not mistaken, around here, around the Yas Marina circuit, built around a bay in Abu Dhabi, in the centre of the city, and what a prospect we have. And of course, it is one of the only 3 tracks out on the calendar that does go into a night race. Of course, we've got Bahrain, or we were supposed to have Bahrain, that's been cancelled. We also have got Singapore and Abu Dhabi, of course. And I've just done some quick maths there. Mashiro is already the champion of the Challenge Cup coming into the race. I do believe it is a 28-point gap between him and Storm. So even if Storm wins, fastest lap, he will not get 28 points out of it. He'll only get 26. So Mashiro, I think, has been crowned champion.
Wait. Latest new about the new point system. I think if you win, you get 50. Yeah, definitely. Storm is back in the fight for the championship. No, I'm joking. But yeah, probably the fight, the fight is over. So now probably we'll see a fight for that second spot in the standings. I'm not sure how the maps are. But well, now we're starting qualifying, and if you don't mind, I'll carry over the lap. So
yeah, go on.
They start the lap really difficult. That first corner you have to go down to third gear, but most of the guys do it on fourth. Now you go to the second and third corner, really easy to go out of the track and get stuck in those curbs. And then we have the TK right here, really tight, and you have to watch out to not invalidate. It's really easy. Now the hairpin, you have to really have a good exit. And now the long straight, probably this is the difficult part to get the setup right, because you need a really good straight line speed, but you also have to guarantee that your car is going to be good for the corners. And now we head on to this sort of chicane or left-right handed corner. As we can see Lord Holton going up to 6 gears as he opened the DRS. And they finish now the second sector. As we can see, Storm is right now leading. Probably this is the most difficult part of the track. This left, right, left. You have a lot of curb and you can easily lose the back end of the car. As we now see this right-handed corner really open, but the braking is really difficult. If you are without ABS, you can lose the car really easily. And we now finish up with this last couple of corners, in which probably the traction is the most important part. And now Mashiro and in the lap, what is he gonna do? I'm not really sure. 120.
Oh, he gets nabbed. He got nabbed. 9,000.
He did.
Pretty much
once
a polar
again.
It's a polar opposite to Mexico.
Yeah, once again they've been pretty close, but this time they've switched positions. Amazing. Like I was about to say,
wow.
Mashiro and Paul, and suddenly I see Storm doing fastest lap. Wow, 11. Wow, that's insane. I mean, I quit. You know that's insane.
1100ths of a second. Storm taking it from Mashiro, but Key with a much improved performance in third. Jeffrey and Conti fourth and fifth. In fact, Viking 6, Mason 7, Tom in 8th, Lord Hulton 9th and Patels in 10th. The bottom three all having their lap times invalidated, but you cannot get any closer than that. Well, apart if you were 1,000th off, then you could. But
yeah, but that's more difficult, you know, probably impossible, you know, to get closer than that. But now we'll have to keep an eye on what the disqualified guys do, because I think they can choose tires and they'll probably go with the medium compound, and we'll have to keep an eye if the undercut here is as strong as in Mexico. By the way, I think a guy left, but I'm not sure who. I'm trying to
that would be Storm, YWR Storm.
Yeah, it was him, yeah. So a pity, because I think he had pace in Mexico, but he had a good exit, but yeah, then he lost it after the S's. And the countdown is getting to its end right now. So let's see what drivers have chosen to go with at the back. We see Puzzles on mediums. Yeah, everyone have gone on mediums. Well, except Tom in the Haas. He's chosen the softs. So interesting strategy was here, because Lord Holton, we know that he could possibly go for the top positions, and this time he's going for a harder tire. So what do you think he will finish?
Lord Holton, honestly, it will depend on the guys ahead of him. I think Tom will be quite easy pickings from, if I've got to be honest. No offence to Tom at all. I think Lord Holton will just get him off the line and maybe down into turn one. He'll get him already. Obviously, the medium compound of tyres should go, by my calculations, to about lap 8 out on track. If you want to set a soft compound of tyre, maybe in Tom's case he can go a lap further, but I wouldn't recommend it. I think the soft guys will be coming in about lap 6, to be honest. There's not really much room for error within the tyres strategy at all. But Storm and Mashiro, 1100ths beside each other coming into tonight's race. It should be another excellent battle between these two.
Yeah, definitely. And this time probably, I mean, we were saying that Mashiro has an astonishing pace in the race, because in Mexico it happened the same. You know, they were really close in a one-shot qualifying, but then Mashiro was incredibly quick with his race pace. So we will see now. I mean, Storm right now he can try and defend from Mashiro at least until the DRS is activated, but we're gonna have a difficult Storm is gonna have a difficult task ahead of him. I'm gonna quickly ask you, who would you go with the top three?
Top three: Mashiro, Storm, Jeffrey. I think Jeffrey will get third. What about you?
I think instead of Jeffrey, I'm gonna bet for Conti. I think he's gonna impress us. So let's see what happens.
I'll let you take the start.
So as we have now each car in their position, and we have 4 red lights, 5 red lights, and away we go. We can see Mashiro having a good, no, definitely not a good start, and Storm holds on that first spot, and we can see the Red Bull, and he has making a double move as he almost collects the Red Bull from Conti, and we can see right now Kiki almost overtaken by the Red Bull, but it seems like Jeffrey has recovered the. He has gone back to fourth, and meanwhile behind Tom had a really good start. He made a double move and made with issues as he is at the back of the field. Really good stuff from Storms. He had a really good start and he was able to hold on P1, but we can see, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. Everyone doing like the snake move, you know, from side to side. And we can see now in the back the Williams going deep into braking, and he's getting overtaken by everyone. And now the Renault trying to get slipstream. He's gonna go down the inside. Probably he will, as we can see Maith overtaking Lord Holton. And definitely and look at that top. That was close as he almost loses the car.
Backmarking and pass holes.
Chaotic first lap, I have to say. Passos is the other way around as he goes back into track, and we can see Pulse Biking lost some positions as now Lord Holton is 8 tenths behind Maith. Crazy first lap, at least at the back of the field, because at the front we don't have any change. Top 3 is exactly the same. Wow. Keen
nearly losing it on the outside curb through turn 20. Goodness me, as you say, Storm leads the way from Mashiro. It's only 0.2 of a second though. I was just running board there with Storm. I thought he had a bit of left side end plate damage, but I don't think he has. Mashiro in second, Key in third, Jeffrey fourth, Conti fifth, Tom in sixth after his very bold moves, I'm just going to put it that way, down the inside, especially through lap 1. Yeah, the timing has glitched on my end. I'm not sure if they have on yours, but
yeah, in mine too. Like Kiki was appearing like 3/10, you know, and that's not real.
Here comes Mashiro. Yeah, here comes Mashiro right on the back, the Japanese man against Storm. This is what we've been waiting for here in the Challenge Cup. Storm and Mashiro down the inside goes the Japanese man
side
through turn 8 and 9. It's still side by side. Gets him on the cut. Brilliant stuff, and Storm is still there. And I think he might actually have the move done. He might actually have the speed down the straight. Key is trying to follow in as well. The timings have come back, which is a godsend. Mashiro and Storm running down towards the end of the middle sector, and Storm backs off this one, and Mashiro into the lead of the race. Great racing.
He was trying to have a better traction, but it was really difficult to. But look at that, he had a good exit, and look at that as Lord Holton overtakes Main. And at the front, maybe Storm will try it now. He's way too far.
Switch back?
Yeah, that was a really good stuff. Look at that. Yeah, they're having a battle between Lord Holton and Maith. Maith was trying to recover that to gain that position back, but yeah, here it's really difficult to overtake, and mostly in sector 3 that's almost an impossible challenge. What a battle we saw between Mashiro and Storm, definitely.
Yeah, 39.3 from Mashiro. It's 0.5 of a second as they come across the line. Lord Holton, as you say, getting that move done on Maze. Good, impressive move there by Lord Holton, and he's now beginning to pull out that gap already. And I've honestly got to say, between the mediums, certainly with Lord Holton's point of view, they're beginning to now get into the race earlier than even I was expecting. They normally come in around lap 4, lap 5. But out on track, as Tom has actually just lost the lead there through turn 3, and now Lord Hulton down the inside gives him the space, and Lord Hulton gets the move done. He might have picked up a warning for that, but Lord Hulton's through, and he's on a set of mediums. He's up to P6, and Storm right on the back of Mashiro. Look at this, look at the straight line speed of Storm. He just waltzes past the McLaren as if he was standing still, and Storm is down the inside through into turn 8. Even before the corner came up, he got the move done, but now Mashiro with a much better exit. Key getting involved. Jeffrey not too far off the pace either. Could develop into a good three-way battle as now Mashiro's trying to go around the outside of Storm underneath the floodlights here in Abu Dhabi. Mashiro around the outside. What a move this is! What a move! Mashiro gets the move done. The Japanese man. Absolute blink and you miss it action here in Abu Dhabi. Mashiro to the lead of the race.
To P6, Tom gained, overtook Lord Hulton back. What a race! As the loft. As the President of the United States of America will say, this race is huge. So, wow.
Storm is still on the back of Mashiro. He's not giving down without a fight. I tell you what though, Key at this stage, Storm obviously been in a bit of a McLaren sandwich, but Key, right on the back, he's came from absolutely nowhere. The beautiful Emirati flag there flying right at the full of the mast, but Mashiro leads the way from Storm in second. Key just beginning to drop off. It's about 5/10 of a second. That looks more than 5/10 of a second, if I've got to be honest. But down towards turn 4 again, and somehow we're surely not going to get a three-way battle as Wallace kicked off in behind Tom and Lord Hulton. They've caught up in a bit of collision. I think Vax Viking's been caught up in one as well, and Vax Viking's round. He's lost his... I thought he lost his left side end plate damage. Oh, nearly. Oh, going up into Lord Hulton, and he has. Lord Hulton and Vax Viking have collided. Back to the action for the lead, though. Storm around the outside of Mashiro. He does get the move done, but Key at this point is just waiting in behind for him to pounce.
Now Key could have the key to actually make the move and try to get in first spot. So let's see how Mashiro goes back into the inside, and Key could try. Look at that dive.
Oh! How close was that to contact? Goodness me! Key trying to launch it down the inside. I think he had the car ahead slightly going into the corner, but he did the right thing and backed off.
Definitely, I mean, if we could summarize this into a word, we could say
crazy.
YOLO. You know, because you only live once. They're just doing this as if they didn't care about the championship. You know, they're just going for the move. They're not.
Oh, Storm's in.
Oh, undercut. So
Storm
really clever move.
Oh, I thought Key was coming in as well, but he's going around the outside. Storman's into the pits though. Yeah, you're right. Undercut, and I think to perfection. 10 laps on a set of mediums. They're going to be worn towards the end of his stint, but the undercut around here is quite potent, and the crossover period, I fear, will be coming now, and Storm might have heard that over the stream. There's a yellow flag in sector 3, and it's Lord Hulton. That is through turn 16. He has lost control of the car, and he actually cuts the corner, I think, to rejoin there on track. Just looking at the mini-map there, you have been caught, and you may still be charged with that.
No, but he was going slow. I mean, he wasn't gaining time because he was without part of the front wing, and he's going now to the pits as the Haas also went into the pit, as they have both to change the front wing. And now the question remains, will Storm undercut Mashiro? We will see. Like, now he's just behind Puzzles, and now he's gonna have DRS, and he will have to overtake. That will probably be an easy move, and that could actually help him to make the undercut work.
Straight line speed. Puzzles has actually got good straight line speed underneath him there. When Storm came out of the slipstream, just nearly went too deep there, but he's got the move done, and Puzzles makes look like a sitting duck.
Yeah, and definitely there's a main difference on the tires.
Storm
had a really good exit, but look at Puzzles.
Yeah, not going to go for it.
Probably he knows that he cannot fight back because he's on a totally different strategy, and it's not his battle. So there's no point of trying to move back.
She was in. She will in from the lead of the race. Key is going to have to be forced to go on another lap. So is Jeffrey as well, because I think Conti will be coming into the pits, and yes, he does. So Conti is also into the pits as well. Back onto a set of medium compound of tyres. Lord Hulton has retired out of the race. That was within the pit lane. He retired that car out on track. We do thank him though for attending. He could have picked up a point. He could have picked up a point out on track. Tom being gifted freebies, I've got to say, out on track. Storm and Mashiro, this is going to be very close. I think Storm at the overspeed's going to have this.
Yeah, it's going to be Storm ahead.
It's going to be about 5/10 of a second coming out the pit lane. Surely Storm has got the move done. Yes, so Storm ahead out of Mashiro and 6/10 of a second. Wow.
And this actually puts up an interesting question, because if Storm was able to gain 1.2 because he was 6/10 behind when he pitted, he's now like 5/10 ahead, now 3, but you understand. Kiki is gonna appear way behind these guys, and probably he has vanished from the battle for P1. As we can see now, the McLaren going down the inside, they're gonna go side by side. But he prefers to be behind. Really clever, as he's gonna have now DRS. But watch out, because Storm has a really good exit.
Poor run out there from Mashiro.
Yeah, but...
Oh, look, the speed!
I mean, I was going to say that maybe Storm had a chance, but no, he hasn't.
Storm will only have a chance, I think, within the corners. And look, he's really quick, nearly into the back of Mashiro. No end plate damage, I'm pleased to report. I didn't see anything fly off that racing pod, but my God, Storm is a lot quicker than the Mashiro. And that's probably down to the colder tyres.
Yes, probably that, and like, when I was watching the battle before, you know, between these two, yeah, Tom makes the move. You could easily see that Storm was having... he was being faster on the corner, so probably he's going for a more sort of aerodynamic setup.
Just getting caught wide there, actually, through turn 21, the final corner. Storm and Key and Conti are not going to be that far behind, actually. They're on a set of mediums. They're going to be battling out P3 and 4 with Patel, so they have to come into the pits. But they're not that far behind. I thought they would have been coming out about 10 seconds behind them, but they're not. They're about 5 seconds behind.
Yeah, but you have to be reminded, Kiki was 1.7 away from Mashiro when he pitted, and he's now way too far. He's almost 5 seconds behind. So let's see, now Storm will have DRS, so now it's the opposite situation, and we will see probably Storm making the move.
You can already tell where this is going to go. Quick to the outside.
And Mashiro stays behind. Let's see if Storm tries to have a good exit, because if not, there's no point in breaking the move.
Yeah, much better exit.
As we can see now,
he's got the move done on Passos.
Yeah, Kiki, yeah, really clever. Now
he's
he's down the inside.
Storm should have defended that one.
Switchback. Look at that, trying to have a better exit. Nah, but really difficult. I mean, the hot spots, if you could call it like that, to overtake are dense straights, because you can see that in the third sector you don't have that much space to act, you know, to try and go on a move.
Yeah, overtaking at a premium round here in Abu Dhabi, but they're being made to look like quite easy moves, I've got to say, the ones that are being pulled off. Key, by the way, did get past Parcells, we alluded to that, but he got the move done for P3. That was down the straight, I do believe, in towards turn 8 out on track. But Mashiro sets a new fastest lap of the race, and we're only halfway through. Lap 8 out of 14. Mashiro and Storm, top 2 within the championship, as Mashiro, 3-second time penalty on the exit at turn 1 there. So Mashiro, that is costly. And Storm, I don't think, has picked up anything yet. So, advantage Storm.
And I don't know how this is gonna end, but this has surpassed my expectations, because I didn't, like, I don't want to offend Storm, but I didn't expect him to be that close from Mashiro, and he has been doing a cracking job, as he has opened DRS, but or not.
Definitely not close enough this time.
No, I think he has, but yeah, his straight line speed now is in. And one key thing, if he loses that DRS range, yeah, he has. Definitely, I think it's gonna be really difficult to gain that position back.
Yeah, it is going to be quite costly, I think, now for Storm, as long as he remains within that 3-second buffer that Mashiro is just beginning to ebb out slightly. But if he stays within that 3 seconds, Storm will get the win here tonight. Passel's picking up a 3-second time penalty. Well, it's as boring as the first 4 races of the Formula 1 calendar this season. Coronavirus cancelling that, and everything out on track has gone, well, silent, quite literally.
Yeah, definitely. We can see huge gaps between some drivers, and probably we have to hold on to this fight and hope that Storm keeps that close, because if not, probably the race could be dead.
Yeah, the race could be dead indeed. Passos is into the pits. I think he's going to get that Renault in, and he's going to be coming out behind his teammate, I think, as well. He's on a set of soft compound of tyres, though, and he should...
Oh, it's going to be close.
Yeah, he's going to be quite close here to the back of Mays. I think Mays, though, is going to be past him by about 1.5 seconds.
Definitely.
2 seconds or so.
We'll see here a battle between Renault teammates. It probably will be cool, because now Passos will have fresh soft tire.
Me. Nearly went off into the pit lane there. That's the coldness of the tyres for you.
Probably. I mean, Abu Dhabi and I would say, no, what's the other track? Probably Abu Dhabi and Singapore are the most difficult pit exit, and Brazil, those three. Because if you have cold tires, it's really difficult to make the first corners, you know. So, Storm, definitely. Mashiro keeps that first spot, and I think Storm has
Storm made a mistake as well.
No, he has slowly lost that time. I mean, he was 1.2, then 1.3, suddenly went to 1.7, and now 2.2. I think when you don't have that DRS, like I was going to say before, like the key point that was making him being so close from Mashiro was that DRS, and with the DRS gone, now it's not that easy to keep the gap.
Yeah, it's not that easy at all. Passos is catching Mace though, so we hope to have a battle beginning to go out on track. Just having a look at some of your comments that have been coming through, by the way, and I'm just catching up on the comments now. I do apologise that I haven't got to these until now. Key saying he had front wing damage within the first race. Storm apologising to Jeffrey as well. Mace saying he had no penalties. This game is so broken. So we obviously saw his penalties in the first race. Yeah. He didn't. So there's a glitch within the Codemasters game. So there you go. And Lucy Davies coming in and saying, damn. I'm glad you found us. That's all I'm going to say on that. But hopefully you are enjoying the action. Hopefully everyone's enjoying the action out on track. There's nothing really happening out on track. This is about as most fans you'll see on an F1 race in probably the entire next 2 months, I would think. Mashiro out in front, but Storm now beginning to get out that 3-second buffer that he had. Of course, he's got that penalty. Key also has got a penalty, and he is catching. That's what I was just going to come on to.
Yeah, and we can see that Kiki is catching, but the one that is not catching as fast as Kiki is doing is Passos, as he is still 4.5 away from Mace. So probably we're gonna see a battle between Storm and Kiki, and probably we'll see a 1-2 here from McLaren.
Yeah, I think so. Key is looking like he is attacking the final 4 laps of this race to absolute perfection, I think, and 1.4 seconds is the gap. 1.2 seconds now the gap. Storm on 6th lap old mediums is going to come under serious pressure now from Key. He just got caught a little bit close to the arm court barrier there for my liking, but I'm pleased to say that there is no end plate damage at all on that car, and the McLaren now really beginning to hunt the racing point down.
But maybe what I was thinking about is that probably Storm might have damage, but it's that slightly damage that you have, like that greenish damage, you know.
You're right, actually. I think it might be a winglet missing off the right side end plate. I think it is. You might be right in that. It's a good spot if you've made that.
If we can get a good view on this, we might see it. Not really.
Trying to lean in to have a look. To me, it looks like it's the right side end plate damage. He's got right side end plate damage and missing a slight winglet on that car. I might be mistaken. It might be just my eyesight, which I'll need to get tested, of course. But Storm, so far, is beginning to lose. Maybe it's just the case of, with it being a dusk to night race, essentially, out on track, Key on pressure tyres is beginning to close in on Storm. I think that might be the better reason for that. In fact, we've got a battle. Hey! Vax Viking passing Tom down the straight. I know it's for the wooden spoon out on track, but come on. Vax Viking has made Tom look pretty easy there. Vax Viking's through and he's up to 8th position. Good move. And Tom not giving this up.
Yeah, he's gonna back.
Oh, Conti!
Conti's out.
Turn 19. The fabled turn 19. Three drivers went out there in TTL F1 last night. Tom down the inside. A back spiking the Welshman. Locks up and he gets the move done. What a move!
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Tommy's having a good race. Well, or at least Malc biking is having a bad race. But Tommy's doing a great work, I have to say.
Where's Key came from on Storm? 6.5 tenths. Where's it gone? Back spiking on the back of Tom. Passel's closing the gap to Mays. 3 battles about to happen here in Abu Dhabi, I think. Hopefully, pray, touch wood, fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything like that. Now we are going to get battles as Key tries to go down the inside of Storm down into turn 8. Not going to get the move done there though, and I think he might be waiting for the better run out the corner. Yep. Storm trying to cut as much of that track as possible. Key though, to the inside. Storm is just going to gift him this position, and Key is through, and he's up to second place. Now.
Look at that, look at that. Ooh.
No. Key had every right to have that corner ahead, and Storm tried his best, but off the camber of the corner, Key was always going to have that move done.
The question is now if maybe with that DRS will Storm be able to keep that gap, or he'll lose it as fast as he did with Mashiro. So probably McLaren going for a 1-2 today. Yeah,
Key is pulling out that gap, 9/10 of a second out on track. Passels was getting closer to Mays. It's 1.5 seconds. The gap has just actually eked out slightly. And yeah, back spiking is the one I'm on board with currently. Tom and back spiking. I've just realised, I think we're on the penultimate lap, or the leaders are on the penultimate lap. These guys aren't at the minute. Back spiking is looking for the move on Tom. Mediums against hards. I know which tyre I'd be favouring at this stage. There's the yellow flag in sector 2. Sector 1 and 2 at Storm. Storm has spun round at turn 3. And now Jeffrey could gain P3 as a result. Storm, I think, getting the curb a bit too much out on track. And Jeffrey, now, from being in no man's land, could line himself a podium. And I don't think he's got any penalties either.
And could we see Mexico Part 2? Because once again, Storm and Jeffrey
could be easy, this.
Having a battle.
Storm just lets him through down the straight, and with worn out tyres, Storm actually trying to come back into the slipstream there, but Jeffrey always going to get that one done. He's up into P3, and I think Storm is on the receiving end of what has been a battering, I've got to say, for those tyres.
Yeah, but he's gonna try and come back. He has open the errors, and probably he's going for the move. Oh, no, he's not. I mean, I think you called that before. I mean, when he did the undercut, you said that probably at the end of the race his tires will be gone, and definitely you've predicted that, and we can see now Storm is struggling a lot. Yeah, and Passos trying the move on mate. No, he was way too far, but yeah. And now the Williams, look at that, Bus Biking also trying to move on top. We're having 3 battles at the same time as he's going round the outside before the corner arrives.
Oh, Tom down late on the brakes. Oh, never gonna have them, never gonna work that one out. And Tom,
and I think he's
letting him through.
The position back. Yeah.
Good sportsmanship there by Pumpkin Man out on track. Have you seen his helmet? Look at it! It's just a pumpkin going around out on track. We're on the final lap, by the way. It's Mashimo who leads, 4.5 seconds out on track. Key in second. The 2 McLarens are leading out the way. Pumpkin Man is in 8th position, but I tell you what, he's done a fantastic job to keep this going out on track. He's still not too far off back spiking either.
No, Storm with the DRS now might have a final chance on Jeffrey. I don't know, because he's 1 second away, and probably
he won't be
unless Jeffrey makes a mistake.
I don't think he's going to be close enough down in towards turn 3. However, Jeffrey,
look at that exit, really
Storm.
Bad. He's now 6th.
He realises the
final lap.
Yeah, he realises the time is now. Storm down the inside, trying to lunge it down the inside. He could be there. Oh, a little bit of half commitment. Never going to work that one out, and I think Storm realised that. We have got Mashiro though coming round the final two corners now, turn 20 and 21. Another dominant display out on track from Mashiro. I think it's his 4th win in the Challenge Cup. Mashiro across the line, the fireworks will go off any second, and he does. And Mashiro comes across the line to win here in Abu Dhabi. Key in second. Them two will stay as they are. Jeffrey will get P3 because he's got no penalties out on track.
Yeah, and let's see, because Jeffrey crosses the finish line.
Yeah, 3 seconds. Mason Passel still going to the line. The 2 Renaults, the 2 banana cars.
Could actually try maybe if he has a good. No, he doesn't, and probably will take P5 unless penalties once again.
Mason Passel. Yeah, stays they are.
P5. Yeah.
Stays they are. Passel's, I think, having a 3-second time penalty. Mays, I don't think, picked up anyone, and I can confirm that. Mays did not pick up any penalties on that track. So the game actually gave him a bit of a favour there, to be honest, this time around in Abu Dhabi. Back to Viking, about to come across the line in 7th, has pulled away quite considerably in the end from Pumpkin Man in the end, as I'm going to call him now, the Welshman, Tom, who is going to finish in 8th position. But back to Viking now across the line in 7th. And Tom will be the final car to come across the line. I salute him though, because he's came across the line to get 2 finishes, which you never really see from the Welshman. And he comes across the line in P8. And his chances of hopefully getting a seat next season in TTL F1 League 2 have not been squashed like most pumpkins are on Halloween. That's a bad one. That is a really bad one. Mashiro to the top step of the podium. Go on, what were you going to say?
Wait for this one. If that was bad, wait for this one. Key definitely had the key for that 1-2 from McLaren. So good stuff from both McLaren drivers today. They put on a good show on track. So, and Jeffrey took P3. So I have to clap them. They did a really good job today. And definitely, yeah, Storm. That. It was a pity because most of the race he was having a good battle with Mashiro, but that undercut, I think that killed him, definitely killed him. So I think overall it was a good race.
Yeah, pitting in lap 4 for him was way too early, and I think I mentioned that in commentary at the time. Mashiro though takes the win, and McLaren 1-2. McLaren to the top step of the podiums here in the Challenge Cup. Jeffrey in 3rd, Storm in 4th, Mays in 5th, Passel's in 6th, backs Viking and Tom 7th and 8th. Conti and Lord Hulton both DNF'd out of the race. Unfortunate for them, but we do salute them, of course, for continuing on. Fastest lap, by the way, did go to Key as a result. And standings-wise from tonight, Mashiro taking both wins out on track, 18 points ahead of Key. Storm in 3rd overall tonight, and a tie for 4th between Conti and Mays. Jeffrey, Passels, Vax Viking, Tom, and Lord Hulton. And Passels and Vax Viking actually tying on points as well out on track. Well, Challenge Cup over and done with. I'm going to come to you, Paco. What on earth did you make of that? That was brilliant.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, I told you at the start we were gonna see a crack of a race, and definitely we had it. Travis put on a really good show on both of the races, and they gave us incredible moves, I have to say. Probably it's a pity that those 2-3 laps without action killed a bit the race, but in the end we also had some action going on. Hopefully for next season they can keep this action going, because it was amazing.
Yeah, the next season of TTL F1 League 2 is just around the corner, and I'm going to get up the confirmed calendar for that now to whet your appetite even further. Lucy put it in the chat, fine off tonight. Action-packed, I think, is the way to describe tonight. Fantastic racing out on track, and hopefully we are going to see more of that for TTL F1 League 2 in the not too distant future. Driver of the day deadline within the chat is now live for 9:35. Complaints deadline also at that time at 9:35 UK time. Defence deadline at 10 PM. So those are the times that you've got to get everything in by. Penalty points I don't think will be carried over to next season. I've just seen Lord Hulton mention that within the chat. I don't think they will be continued on through next season. However, I'm looking at TTL F1 League 1. Let me get up the calendar. There we go, I've got the calendar up, and round 1 of the championship will be in Bahrain. The recently cancelled Bahrain Grand Prix in real life, but we're going to be there next week, and it's going to be League 2 on the 20th of March. So next week, at the same time of 8 o'clock UK time, you're going to be seeing TTL F1 League 2 action out on track. And I'll run you through the calendar now, actually. Bahrain, round 1, Spain, round 2, Britain, round 3, Germany, round 4, Hungary, round 5, Belgium, round 6, Italy, round 7, Singapore, round 8, Russia, round 9, USA, round 10, and Brazil, the season finale, and that's on the 29th of May. So we are running through from March, 20th of March to the 29th of May. Get those dates in your diaries right now. You don't want to miss anything out on, and obviously we've got the Challenge Cup as well. 100% around Britain, 5th of June that is going to be. Hopefully that's going to be 3 weeks before the new F1 game is released. So, and that is the calendar, and the same applies if you are a TTL F1 driver and are tuning in. The same applies, it's just a day earlier. Just think of it that way. But action-packed tonight. I think we both need a lie down. Absolutely fantastic racing. I'm going to have a final check into the comments section, and Paco, I'll ask you for your driver of the day.
Well, I would say, like, the easy answer would say Mashiro, but I'm going with Storm, and because he impressed me when he just braked to let Jeffrey go through, despite him losing lots of positions, and for me that's enough to be driver of the day, because then he also made a really good comeback in Mexico. It's true that in Abu Dhabi he had issues with tires, but he definitely was a good sportsman, you know, and that gives me respect for him. So for me, Storm is my driver of the day.
Storm, your driver of the day. I am sadly going to disagree with you. I think Mashiro is going to get driver of the day. Of course, the driver of the day deadline is open until 9:35, so you've got 23 minutes, drivers, if you do want to get that vote in. Just having a look through some of the comment section. Storm saying, well done, podium finishers and awesome commentary. Paco, thank you very much. Yeah.
No, I have to thanks TT for once again giving me the chance to commentate, because I'm really grateful, you know. I barely had the opportunity, like I had my league, you know, and I would commentate there, but after that I was without job, you could say that. But now, yeah, I'm back commentating now here with you, and I hope that for next season we can be back, because it would be really exciting, you know, to be alongside with you during the season.
The offer is there for you to join me next week and for the rest of the season.
Is it to decide, you know?
Is it to be decided? I don't think it is. I honestly would love you to be co-commentator next season in TTL F1. You've brought a lot of flair and a lot of innovation, I think, within your commentary for the last 2 weeks, and certainly I want to make a go of this pairing, so I'm offering you, if you want, you can join me for the full season. See what Maze has to say on that one as well.
Well, if I could say right now my decision, I've always wanted to say this. I've always wanted to do this. It's a no. Nah, I'm kidding. I would love to. I would love to be alongside, but yeah, that depends on the boss. So we'll have to wait and see.
The same season next week, Maze has said, season 17 of TTL F1. League 1 on Thursdays, League 2 on Fridays. If you really want to catch up on more action, however, you can come and join myself and the lovely Alan Cavey to be taking you through Competitive Racing Club GT3 Tier 2 at 7:30 UK time and 8:30 UK time. If you're a fan of my commentary and just want to tune in for that, it's 8:30. So if you want to tune in for then, you can. Next week, of course, we've got the mini league starting up as well on Wednesdays. I cannot wait for that. Myself, Kieran McGinley, and Aidan Carter, Commentators, will be taking you through the mini league commentaries. I'll confirm the timings of that on Tuesday night stream for TTL F2, which I think will be around the season finale in Abu Dhabi, if I'm not mistaken on that. But we're going to have to go for a lie down. Absolutely fantastic action out on track. And if you do want to follow the league on Twitter, at TTL_F1 is what you want to be following, at TTL_F1 on Twitter. If you want to follow the commentary team, and I don't know why you would try and do that, but if you do, and if you want to get in contact, you can follow me on Twitter, at B52Head, and you can also follow the Mr. Paco Suarez on Twitter, which is at P_Suarez_19. See, I've remembered it this week. And that's not because I've got your profile up to the right-hand side of me on my iPad.
Nah, who would have guessed that, of course, right?
But honestly, fantastic action in the Challenge Cup, and if that's whetted your appetite for what is to come for Season 17, like, comment, subscribe, notification bell. Simple as that. We're going to be full steaming ahead, hopefully, with all 11 rounds of the season. It is business as usual here on TTTV. Thank you very much for tuning in. I bid you farewell. Thank you very much for watching, and until next week for Season 17, goodbye.
Goodbye.